What's going on, guys? CGG Matt back. NBA All-Star Weekend is in the rearview mirror. I'm going to grade every event from All-Star Weekend and talk about some other stuff NBA related, Kevin Durant related mostly. Stick around for that. Let's go. Don't forget to like, subscribe if you enjoy the video. We're going to start off with the celebrity game. I didn't watch it, so I'm not grading it. I didn't care enough to watch it, to be honest with you. I heard Taco Fall was in it. How is that fair? Who is that fair toward? That's broken. That's just outright broken, all right? I don't know why he was in there. Shams, I saw the highlight, Shams. You need to work on that jumper, big guy. Shit was not falling. He was barely hitting rim on some jump shots. It was an ugly sight for us Shams fans. Otherwise than that, didn't watch. Let's move on. Skills challenge or the shooting challenge, whatever, shooting stars I think it's called nowadays. I'm going to give that a B-. It was cool. I think the idea was fun because it incentivizes teams. Because it's one shot per person at every spot, you actually have to take a layup or something close to that in mid-range. The format for the last few years basically incentivized teams to just chuck from half court. This one, it made the other shots actually matter a little bit, which I actually did enjoy. I like seeing them clank baseline mid-ranges because all the Knicks did that. I like that they added a legend to everyone, Ron Harper, Allen Houston, Corey Maggette, and I forget who the other one was. But either way, the Knicks won. Team Knicks, I don't remember. I think that's what they're. Team Knicks. They won. And Allen Houston's jumper still looks pretty good to this day. I'm giving it a B- because it was competitive. That's all I'm asking for. You know, a little bit of fun, a little bit of like, oh, who's actually going to win? Make me question who's going to win, you know, and Team Knicks came out and did their thing. Of course, Team Cameron came in second. That was their name, Team Cameron. It was a fine event. All-Star, the Skills Challenge and the Shooting Stars now has never really been the biggest All-Star Weekend event, but it wasn't a bad one to start off the weekend, really, because let's be honest, how many people, hands up if you watch the All-Star, or the Celebrity Game. Like I said, hands up if you watch the Celebrity Game. What's there, 6 of you with your hands up? Yeah, it's not enough. There was maybe 4 people in the arena. Now, another gripe I have, minor gripe, I saw some reporters had atrocious seats in the Intuit Dome, team reporters and stuff like that for the Celebrity Game, and to that I say there's just no reason for that. Really, the first row was pretty clear. You could have had them in like section 4 rows back from the front. They were in the second level. There was just no need for that. There was maybe 40 people in attendance for the Celebrity Game. Why were media members so high up? Complaining on behalf of the media because, well, if I want to be media one day, guess what, motherfucker? Don't put me in a box seat. Or you can put me in a box seat. Don't put me up by the box seats and not in a box if there's open seats right behind the commentator's desk. It's a minor gripe that I'm sure nobody cares about, but I'm still griping about it. Let me know down in the comments what you guys graded the Skills Challenge or the Shooting Stars Challenge. Like I said, it was moderately competitive. It was a close game, so there's excitement there. You did good enough. That's the appetizer. That's never the main course, right? The main course is the other games. So let's move on and talk about them. 3-point contest. I'm giving it an A. I really did enjoy it. I really enjoyed it. I know Dame won and people are mad about Dame winning it because he hasn't played, but in all reality, that just makes the other guys look worse. Not going to lie to you, Chief. He played really, really well. I like that it was competitive down to the end. I like the first round was even competitive because you had some close scores. Like I think Norm Powell put up like a 24 and got eliminated from a 24. That's a really decent round, and he got the bump for it. First, Devin Booker goes out there and hits 30 in the first round. Dame hits like 27 in the first round, and Khan was amazing as well. I think Khan really made this event special for me because he's a rookie. I don't see generational shooting talents like Khan Kneppel very often. It's like if Klay Thompson was given free reign in year 1 instead of like year 3 when he finally got to be able to be a feature player on the team, right? Khan Kneppel, in my opinion, will win a 3-point shootout at least once in his career. It's bound to happen. He has such pure shooting form. It's like Klay Thompson's release, honest to God. Not a lot of legs involved, very flick of the wrist heavy. It is a beautiful set jump shot, and I swear to God, I think he's going to win one day. One year, Khan Kneppel is going to win a 3-point contest. He has just the best 3-point form that I like personally. There's a lot of great shooting forms. Devin Booker has amazing form. It is his shot is so perfect mechanically. I thought it was funny though that he makes the finals in the 3-point contest. Go look at his 3-point shooting during the regular season, folks. It is not pretty. I looked it up just to make sure I wasn't speaking out of my ass. I watch basketball, so I knew he wasn't having a great shooting year. 31% from three on the year for Devin Booker, and yet he puts up 30. So he almost has a higher score than he does three-point percentage in the first round. He played an incredible first round. His shot looks so beautiful. So I'm giving it an A. I like seeing a young guy get put front and center. Con Kneppel was kind of put front and center in this event because he was in the final, right? Dame wins it. An outsider, a guy that hasn't played. He becomes a 3-time champion, joining the likes of Craig Hodges and I think like Larry Bird or some shit. That's pretty cool. People are complaining because he's hurt. He hasn't played. Blah, 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 blah. I guess I understand it to an extent, but also it just makes the other shooters look worse when you say that. I'm not complaining at all. You put Damian Lillard in a three-point contest, you get Dame time, right? It's Dame. And here's the thing. He almost lost. Dame puts up like 27 or 28 in the final round. Devin Booker is 2 behind and has his full money ball, or has 3 balls left on his money ball rack. So he needs to make 1 to tie, 2 to win, and he has 3 balls left and he misses all 3. So that was a brutal one for, I'm sure, the Devin Booker fans out there. It kind of reminded me of the 2021 finals when they were up 2-0 and he just couldn't close out. That's what we call a tasteful jab right there. I enjoyed the three-point contest. Again, talk to me down below. What do you grade the three-point contest? A to F. If you give it an F, I'm sorry, you're just hating, bro, because this was actually a pretty fun event. I enjoyed myself. Again, the three-point contest is never the main course. It's always just really fun. It's like the best appetizer you can order. What's the best appetizer in the world that I can think of right now? Mozzarella sticks. I fuck with some mozzarella sticks. Some places do like jalapeno poppers. They ain't bad either. Either way, we'll move on and stop talking about food. I just didn't eat breakfast, so I'm hungry. Up next, the dunk contest. Considering the contestants, right? You have to put that into perspective. If you expected, peak out of this, I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you. The dunk contest, the contestants in it are not star names. Carter Bryant, Jace Richardson, the winner Keyshawn Johnson and Jackson Hayes, who shouldn't be in the event to begin with. I think, hot take here, Jackson Hayes' first dunk was so atrocious, it should have got him kicked out of the event to begin with. That's number one. But he did kind of make it up with that tap dunk through the legs. That was kind of hard. He tips it from one hand to the other and then goes through the legs. It was all right. I think, to make a real statement, Jackson Hayes should have jumped over the Wizards mascot. That would have been electric, my friends. That would have got me on my feet if he jumped over the Wizards mascot. But his first dunk should have got him booted from the event. I mean, he does, a damn Statue of Liberty, damn near, from 2 feet inside the free throw line. It wasn't spectacular at all. I think he hesitated way too much, obviously. But I don't know why he went through with the dunk. He should have just backed up and gone back again. Jace Richardson almost fucking died, so there's that. That was hilarious. I know he's all right, and that's the only reason it was funny. If he was actually hurt, it'd be a different story. But he got back up and he finished the contest. I'm sure the only thing that's really hurting is that landing definitely bruised his ego, So I'm sure that one hit hard. I mean, he jams himself on the rim and the backboard kinda, and just back to floor. Wasn't pretty. But it's the first time I think I've ever seen someone almost get hurt in the dunk contest. Nah, John Collins when he kicked the plane. Remember when John Collins tried to jump over a plane? What an awful dunk. But like I said, I'm giving it a B, B- because of the field of contestants and how actually impressed I was. Another thing I wanted to say about it, I did like Carter Bryant's toss to himself into the through the legs, I believe. That was fire. That should have been a 10 out of 10. I also liked his windmill dunk, but also, the thing I wanted to say was, is it time we just don't do it anymore? And you're probably like, Matt, you gave it a solid grade. What do you mean don't do it anymore? What I mean is all the innovation just really out the window? Or have we run out of impressive dunks to do? And the way I'm going to draw this comparison is to another sport, skating. And I don't know if anyone skates in the chat, yeah, like we're live streaming, in the comments or anyone like that. But I remember when I was a kid, and I played Tony Hawk Pro Skater. I played Skate. I love both franchises, right? I remember when I was a kid, watching Tony Hawk pull off a 900 was like the most awesome shit ever. And I think he was the first person to ever do it, and he did it in like before I was born, actually. 99, I think. I was born in '01. So I think it was the first time he ever did it was 2 years before I was born, and it was considered the most fire move ever pulled off in skating, right? Or I draw that back to Vince Carter's 360 windmill in '01. When was that? '01 or something like that. You move that to current day, and you see skaters all the time doing 900s now. Who was the one guy that did it? Not Bam Margera, obviously. He's doing something else. Oh, God. Who's the other one that I'm thinking of? There's been a bunch of them that can do there's a bunch of skaters that can do 900s now, is basically my point. Carter Bryant, I think, did the Vince Carter 360 windmill as a first-round dunk. That's a dunk that blew the fucking roof off the place 20 years ago, 25 years ago, whatever, right? That dunk blew the lid off the arena. It had Shaq with his jaw on the floor and the camera out. It's over, ladies and gentlemen, right? That is such a common dunk now that I don't even think Carter, I think it was Carter Bryant, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't even think he got 10s for it. So now I'm wondering, have we really just run out of innovation? And the only way that I think we can innovate more is if we do more prop dunks. And prop dunks to me are hit or miss, so hit or miss. You'll get a prop dunk here and there, like Aaron Gordon with the Wizards mascot. There he is getting mentioned again with the 360 dunk, or him jumping over the Wizards mascot. That's innovation right there. Don't get me wrong. But you have to bring in props to do it. I don't think there's a real no prop dunk that hasn't been done before that would blow the lid off the crowd. I don't know who can do it. Even Mac McClung's dunks last year were really quality dunks, don't get me wrong, but they weren't groundbreaking. They weren't dunks that people that I don't think anyone can imitate. That Vince Carter dunk in '01 felt like a dunk you would never see again. And like I said, now it's just commonplace. And then you go back to prop dunks like I was talking about. Prop dunks, I mean, we're almost out of those too. Blake Griffin jumped the fucking Kia, so that the car thing is already dead, in my opinion. Cars are washed in the dunk space, all right? Cars, not it for me anymore. Unless you're clearing the actual top of the car and not just the hood. Either way, innovation only can really come from props nowadays because there's not that many original dunks that you can create now. So it really makes me feel like how much longer can we get away with this? And people put their actual expectations into the dunk contest this year. I had none, and that's why I got a good grade, was because I was moderately entertained. Keyshawn Johnson's through the legs that he tried 15 fucking times. It was fun. It was a good dunk. Carter Bryant's through the legs was a great dunk. Keyshawn Johnson, Carter Bryant stole the dunk contest, and they did really well. I don't know. I don't think any of those dunks really blew my mind. I don't know. The Carter Bryant lob to himself into the through the legs dunk, that one got me on my feet. But either way, I gave it a B-. I think it was a solid contest considering the people who were in it. But I want to talk to you guys down below, of course. It's all about what we all think. The main course was the All-Star Game. It always has been the All-Star Game. And everyone complains about the All-Star Game. I don't think I've ever watched a full-length All-Star Game from any sport, let alone just in the NBA. I watched the full 2020 All-Star Game because that was after, was that 2020? It was somewhere around there after Kobe's passing. And that was a special one, don't get me wrong. But even the MLB one, I don't really care. A few years ago, Elias Diaz from the Colorado Rockies won All-Star Game MVP. Hands up in the chat right now if you remember Elias Diaz. Yeah, he was a fucking Rockies catcher, guys. A Rockies catcher, all right? So I don't really put my hopes into any All-Star game. The NBA one, though, from what I've seen, apparently people online really, really believe that this is supposed to be a fucking primo Game 7 atmosphere. I will say, if that's what you were expecting, I think you got it up until the last game. The last game wasn't pretty, but I'll save that. The first game, Team World versus Team Stars, the red team, I think, with Anthony Edwards on it. Spectacular game, and people want to say that it was the format that brought the energy out and the competitiveness. Oh, I'm giving it an A, by the way. I'm just kind of throwing that in there. I'm giving it an A. The competitiveness, to me, didn't start with the format. The competitiveness, to me, started with Victor Wembanyama. And the standard has to change with the NBA players. Trying has to be considered cool again. For a while, trying in the All-Star game was like, bro, why are you trying so hard? This shit don't mean anything. Nowadays, hopefully, with this change with Wembanyama, Anthony Edwards, some guys like that, it's turning back, maybe, into, hey, let's try a little bit at least. Even Anthony Edwards himself said that Victor Wembanyama was the one that really started it in his post-game press conference. He basically said Wembanyama came out with the energy, and people want to match that, right? So that definitely helps. Victor Wembanyama is the face of the NBA coming up, and it's nice to see that he's kind of carrying the torch, maybe into a new era of All-Star Game, or maybe by year 10 of doing the All-Star Game, Wemby won't care anymore. We'll find out in 5 to 10 years. But once Wemby came out with the effort, you saw a lot of other teams you saw a lot of other players individually bring effort. Scottie Barnes was trying. At the end of the first game, Scottie Barnes, I believe, hit the game-winning 3, which unbelievable that Scottie Barnes of all people hit it, but Scottie Barnes at the end of the first game had a stat line of 3 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 turnovers, and 3 fouls or something like that. And my only thought was, that's Draymond Green's normal stat line. But it was nice to see guys bring effort, individual effort you got out of them. Even the vets team, I think that was Team Stripes, right? The blue team. But you got some effort out of the vets. LeBron was giving effort. I know he's not the fan favorite or whatever, but he was giving effort. Kevin Durant was trying. We'll talk about him more in depth later. Some of those guys tried, and that was nice to see. I also think it helps that this is going to maybe be mean because I'm going to solo out some individual NBA players. The notorious non-triers didn't play. You know, Jokic played like 3 minutes. Luka didn't play at all. Another one that I'm going to throw right under the bus. Jimmy Butler made the All-Star game for numerous years in a row and played 0 minutes in a majority of them. To me, that's another thing where it's like, get the non-triers out of there. And it happened this year. And so you got a bunch of guys that seemingly, at least, I understand it's never going to be 100% effort. This isn't real Game 7. You're not going to get Game 7 2016 effort out of LeBron James in the All-Star game. It's just never going to happen. But at least give us 75% and we'll take it. So Wemby shows up and gives effort, then Anthony Edwards shows up and gives effort, and it's a domino effect, you know? If you make giving effort fun again and cool again, you might get some real players trying hard. And it was good to see. Also, the format, I understand I'm not giving the format any credit for helping get competitiveness back. I know I'm not giving the format any credit, but it was basically like it was the fourth quarter every game. Instead of having 4 quarters where, here's the downside of if we do one solid game, is that if it's a blowout the first 2 quarters, you aren't going to get competitive basketball in the third and fourth. You know, if the first and second quarter is you know, a 30-point lead going into halftime, you're probably not going to get fourth quarter effort. So making it 1 quarter where it's basically just the fourth quarter or else you get booted, that I think helped a lot, I will say, because it put more pressure on them. You only get 12 minutes to win, and the scores were going to like 30, 40, whatever. So it definitely helped. I think it helped a little bit at least. Now, my one gripe with it, however, with this format is that the finals happened and it was an absolute blowout. I know I'm skimming over Kawhi Leonard masterclass versus Victor Wembanyama having a great game. That was a super fun game. Again, part of the reason why I'm giving it an A was the first 2-3 games that were very competitive and very fun to watch. The last game, not as fun. Why? In my opinion, the reason why is because there was this delayed break in between games. The third and fourth game, there was a commercial break in between, and then I believe something else in the middle. There was just too much space between games. And the team that got blown out was the team of vets. You can't expect LeBron, KD, Kawhi, all these older players to sit for 15, 20 minutes and then get back up and play at 100% again. It's not going to happen. You're not going to get, you know, snap hot at a guys that are 35 plus when you just played a full quarter, basically, because that's what it was. It was 1 quarter of basketball. And most guys were playing like 8 minutes. The starters are playing like 8 minutes-ish. You're not going to get a full quarter's worth of basketball out of them. Sit them for 20 minutes, tell them get back up and go. That's why I think the last round was a blowout, and that's why I didn't really like it. There was just too much space between the last 2 rounds. You let vets sit for way too long. And when you let old bones sit, old bones ain't getting back up. Am I right, 35-plus crowd? Trust me, one of my brothers is 40, and all I hear is him bitching about getting up and down and whining. If you're watching this video, you know who you are. But overall, it was a decent All-Star game. Like a very decent All-Star game. Yeah, you got competitiveness, you got close games, you got fun, like, players getting hot. Specifically Kawhi Leonard, dude. He was like 11 of 13. He was cooking. He ended up getting All-Star Game MVP votes on the losing team. So that lets you know how good he was playing, right? The MVP went to, God, I forget who it even went to. It doesn't really matter. It was a blowout the last game. I kind of just zoned out and stopped watching. But it was a fun event regardless. That's why I'm giving it an A. And it could have been an A+. I could have probably did B+ too, but it could have been an A+ if the last game was as competitive. But again, like I said, there was just too much of a space between games, and you're relying and telling these older guys, like, they played 2 games before that. Get up, go play another one now. Let me know down in the comments your grade for the All-Star game. If it's anything below a B, I'm sorry. You're just hating, bro, because that was actually a decent game. It was fun enough, right? You didn't have guys shooting from 40. I know people don't like that when guys start pulling from half court. So that's fun to see. That it didn't really happen. I think LeBron made one from really deep, but like it doesn't. You take one a game, oh well. Guys weren't shooting from 100 feet. You know, guys were playing defense at times. There was real defense being played, guys. Go watch it. There was real one-on-one effort being played at times. Like, was it Cat and Brunson did a one-on-one? Jaylen Brown went one-on-one with somebody. Jaylen Brown even blocked Jamal Murray's jumper in the last game, right? So, and not the last game, the game before the last one. So it was a very solid event, very fun event. I enjoyed it. Let me know down in the comments. Of course, Wembanyama kind of got sold. Jamal Murray was ass. Şengün, he's ass. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty for Vic and his crew, but it was a fun event nonetheless. The last topic I want to talk about, Kevin Durant. If you don't have a very big Twitter presence, social media presence, whatever, I'll explain it to you. I think it's fake. I'll come out and tell you straight away. I think it's all cap. It's all fake. It's all bullshit. I don't think that account is actually Kevin Durant. I don't think those messages are real. I don't. The messages seem very fake. And that's where I kind of stopped and was like, I don't know about that. Some things said in there that were just not Kevin Durant. Like, some things were very true. Don't get me wrong. A lot of what they said, true. I don't think the issue was the messages as much as the drones, but the drones is a different conversation. I'm not going geopolitical on this shit. I'm backing up 100 feet. The last time I talked about Deni Avdija, my video was very much so bombed with supporters of his, and I don't want to talk about that again. I'm good on that topic. But the messages where he was saying, like, Şengün is ass, can't dribble, can't shoot, can't defend, soft as hell. Tell me where he's wrong. Tell me where he's wrong in that statement. Again, I don't think that's actually Kevin Durant in those messages. If you haven't seen it, I'll see if I can maybe flash them on the screen or something. Jabari Smith, he called mentally handicapped, basically. I don't think any of them were KD. But none of them were really that far away. Jabari Smith Jr. being slow is, I don't know him personally. I can't say that. But the Russell Westbrook cocaine bear, triple-double cocaine bear, not wrong. James Harden being a little bit like weird, but also a good dude. If you watch the NBA documentary or whatever, the one where they go behind the scenes with the players for the full season, what the fuck's that thing called? Not Unreal. That's WWE. I forget what it's called. You know James Harden's a little bit of a character. But yeah, I genuinely don't believe it's Kevin Durant. I don't. I think that there's a better chance that KD obviously has burner accounts, and we all know that. It's Kevin Durant. He's had burner accounts before. He's had burner accounts multiple times he's been caught. This, I don't think, is one of those times, but it's possible that he has a burner account. I just don't think he's in Twitter chat rooms with random geeks, you know, talking shit about his teammates. Why does he want to run to some random Twitter account to go to a group chat with some random people that aren't, not trying to be an asshole? None of those people in that group chat are famous, you know, and he's going to go gossiping about his teammates and his team. I don't know. I don't believe it, quite frankly. I just don't believe it. So do what you must with that information, with those messages. If you choose to believe it, I don't blame you. It was hilarious when I first read them. Then I read more about it, started to feel like, all right, maybe this isn't real. But comedy's comedy nonetheless. Shit's hilarious. If you get your laughs off, I'm not going to stop you. I think that's all for the NBA news and All-Star Weekend stuff and everything like that. If there's anything I forgot, talk to me down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, you should like and subscribe. Don't forget to grade All-Star Weekend down below in the comments for me. I'm going to go catch the game. See you guys in the next one.